Welcome back to Daniel Reviews. I'm Daniel Goodwin, and today we are looking at the Ecoflow River Pro 3. Let's get into it. I've done a lot of videos on Ecoflow's products. I've never actually done one on the River lineup, and that's mainly been because I haven't historically had a need for the smaller units. I've always needed something bigger and beefier for like my house or for specific purposes. So I hadn't really looked at the River lineup too much, or even the Delta. And so this is going to be a fun little video to make, and I'm excited about it. So let's get into it. Okay, this is what you get. You get the unit itself in the box. You get a charging cable, AC charging, plug into your 110 outlets. And then you also get, a car charger with an X60 connector. Yep. And of course, the manual. All right, we're going to start charging this. You can see I've got it plugged in. It's charging at a measly 132 watts. I suspect there is a fast charging option. We will check into that. And it's at 30% right now as it's shipped, so that's about what I'd expect. We're going to go ahead and get this going, get it all charged up before we do our testing. All right, let's try this again. 100% AC outlet is on, and we're going to try to charge an Eagle battery with the included 56-volt charger. Oh, air kicking on. That's good. And yeah, we can see it's charging. 220, 250, 260. Kind of a slow ramping up. I can't remember the rate these things charge at. I feel like it's right around that 300. So at this rate, I would expect we'll tap out. Well, this battery is much smaller than that. So I would say if it were consistently running at 286, this would probably tap out in about an hour, maybe a little less, without any input. We'll look at input next. Okay, I've plugged in a portable panel, solar panel. It's a 100-watt panel that's supposed to have excellent, partial shade protection. And so we're going to see what we're going to get. Sun is definitely not an optimal angle, so we'll adjust this, but it's pretty straightforward. You just plug it into the X60 connector and run it over here. So pretty good. Pretty simple, I should say. Like, you really just don't get much simpler. All right, well, we finished charging the battery, this battery. Wait, you can see it's fully charged, and took the River down to 83%, which makes sense. The sun's a little clouded at the moment, and probably at this point I can lay it flat. It might perform a little better, but generally just what I would expect. I'm gonna plug in this portable sprayer that I've used in other videos. I think it has a fairly low wattage, but we're gonna try to see if we can get this to kick on. But first, let's make sure that the AC outlet is on. Okay. You can see it's trying to kick on, but it's trying to draw too much, and the little River can't supply that much, and that's why the AC is turning off. Next test, I'm really having a hard time finding something that will power off of this, because everything I've been trying so far has had too much amp draw, and the little River can't seem to provide it. So let's see if we can do this Makita charger. Well, it's certainly acting like it's charging. There we go. Pretty good. So we can see we're getting let's zoom in on that a little bit. 100-watt draw from using the charger, and I imagine that'll probably kind of ramp up as it gets to charging. So it'll work for something like that. If you need to charge your, probably would be better off doing some sort of DC conversion, but it can run something like this with 100, under 200, 300 output, it does that all right. Screen does turn off pretty quickly, and that's a power saving feature. You can adjust that in the app. Also, after a period of time, the AC outputs will turn off on automatically again, power saving. Same with the DC. But you can adjust that. But it's really just a function of this is a pretty small battery, so it's trying to nurse as much life out of it as you possibly can, and that's why they have those defaults up there. Okay, that'll probably wrap up my review of the River. I will say, and I said it at the onset, this is a much smaller and, you know, much more portable power station than I've ever used before. And with it becomes a lot of trade-offs, right? Like this is just doesn't have the oomph to power most of, even though it might look like you can run some heavier duty things because you've got this you know, 3-prong plug like a typical 110 outlet. The truth is it doesn't have the power to really power most of those household devices. So unless you're plugging in something small like a, you know, a cell phone charger or something pretty small draw, it doesn't seem like it can provide the output necessary to power that for any amount of time. That said, if you're treating it like it is a super portable, you know, power station for, again, small electronics like your laptop, your phone, your watch, some Bluetooth speakers or whatever, particularly if you're using the 12 volts or the cigarette adapter, it's going to be really good for that, and, you know, give you good value out of that. But I think if you want any kind of, you know, power draw, you're going to need to look at something bigger, and probably even look at the Delta line up beyond. They do make the bigger River 3s, and those might be a little more useful for your needs, but probably just from an input-output perspective, you're going to want to go to a Delta. And if you really need something, then you need to go to a Delta Pro or their Delta Ultra lineup. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.